Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. Today we are in New York, not for the reason that I was going to be in New York. I was going to start having a look at the whole Diddy situation, but Harry's in the news, as we knew he would be. But he's in the news for the wrong reasons. He's in the news because he looks like he's struggling with anxiety or something. And so we're going to have a look at that today. I've got my New York Tarot on the tarot table. It's the Urban Tarot, which I use for the Big Apple. And they are big cards, so I'm going to struggle to get them on screen. You'll just have to bear with me. Anyway, articles coming out just in the last few hours are about, first one about Harry's body language at the WHO dinner, where Queen Matilda was also present, the Queen of Belgium. And Judy James, the body language lady, said that Harry showed visible signs of struggling with his demotion. She was looking very regal, of course. He was looking eager to ingratiate himself. He ended up walking behind her, and he had that expression on his face that Judy James said, that haunted look that he often lapses into when he's feeling unhappy or anxious. I'm not quoting her directly, but haunted look is what she definitely said. And then there's another article about him at the Diana Awards, where he had to give a speech or interview to young people. And he was looking dreadful. He was cracking his knuckles. He was looking down at his feet. He was licking his lips in a weird sort of tweaking way. He looked very, very nervous. He looks sweaty. He looks scruffy. He isn't wearing a tie. All the other men look immaculate and well-dressed, well-presented. Harry looks scruffy. People are saying he looks like a child among adults. He's clearly not very comfortable, not very confident. So we're going to have a look at it. We're going to see how he's doing. Celtic cross with these giant cards. And see what's going on for Harry. What is going on? Some people saying he's suffering from anxiety. We know he suffers from anxiety. He's talked about it. So in which case, why is he doing this to himself, putting himself in these awkward situations with royalty and presidents and very influential people where he can't really hold his own intellectually? We know that he has allegedly hired a fancy speechwriter, i.e. not Meghan, to write speeches for him so he doesn't make a big idiot of himself in New York this week. But he's clearly out of his depth. Whether he's anxious or whether he's medicated or whether he's missing some of the substances he self-medicates with, we're going to ask that question in this reading because he looks unwell. He looks, as I say, sweaty. He's got some weird tics that I don't think if he was in good mental health he would be exhibiting. That is my unprofessional opinion. And let's remind you, as I shuffle one more time, let's remind you that this is just tarot and it is for fun and entertainment, and it is all speculation and all my inexpert opinion, and I just read energy. And of course there is a disclaimer in the box below, and please read it and do your own research and form your own opinions. So Urban Tarot, Harry, how's he doing? How is he doing? How does he see himself? How does he see himself as presenting? And are there issues, anxiety or substances or anything like that that might be causing some of these strange things that we are seeing? And I have the Seven of Wands in reverse. It's called the Valor. And in this tarot deck, there are some quite strange keywords. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I disagree, as those of you who've watched me for a while know. Valor, it's about defense. It is about bravery, being able to defend yourself when it's upright, the Seven of Wands. In reverse, you can't defend yourself. You feel very vulnerable. You could even be on the brink of collapse. And in my inexpert opinion, he looks so anxious. He looks so forlorn. He looks so vulnerable. He looks so out of his depth that I do wonder if there is some sort of collapse coming. It's a card of collapse. The Seven of Wands, when it's in reverse, really out of his depth, really vulnerable, fragile even is the word that's really coming through for me. And that is our underlying energy. And so the cards are confirming what is being speculated or discussed in the articles that I have been referencing, and also the comments that are going around on social media, people that are observing what is going on. There were apparently also some awkward moments at Kevin Costner's fundraiser on Friday night from people who were there and are also sharing what they saw. So I don't think it's been the best few days for Prince Harry. Let's see how he's doing. Heart of the reading. We're reading from his point of view. We have the Eight of Cups in reverse. It says indolence here. It's the card of really wanting to get away from your troubles and just walk away. So more of a sorrow energy for me, generally, the Eight of Cups, leaving something difficult behind. It's in reverse. This means that even though he maybe thought he was launching himself on a new path and he was rehabilitating his reputation and going to be the all-conquering hero again, popular Harry, the darling boy that everybody loved so much, he's struggling. He's really struggling. He is out of his depth again with that Eight of Cups card. It's in reverse. So if he thought that by leaving Montecito and leaving her behind, he was going to do better, he's actually doing worse, possibly with the energy that's coming through. He's maybe so used to her taking charge and steering him around and telling him what to do and hogging the limelight and being overconfident. And even though some of the things she does are very cringe, doesn't matter because she's doing it. She's mummy. He doesn't have mummy by his side, left her behind, but he's brought his sorrows with him. The problem, anxiety, substances, what's the problem for him right now? And I've got the Hanged Man. And it's a Neptune card. The Hanged Man. Neptune, we know what Neptune represents, just in general, dreams, depression it can represent. It can represent drugs. So just in general, Neptune can represent those kinds of things. So we have some indication, disorder of some kind, not seeing things clearly. When you're under that Neptunian influence, things dissolve, things disappear. Your own sense of self can dissolve and disappear under a Neptunian influence. So that's what the card represents in general. The energy coming through it is from somebody that really, for me, again feels out of his depth with that Hanged Man energy, that he just doesn't know how to behave in these kinds of circumstances anymore. Now he's been reduced. He no longer has his HRH. He's had to force his way into these events to try and remind everybody that he was once somebody, and it's awkward. It's socially awkward. He's powerless. The Hanged Man is a powerless energy. It's somebody who's being hung out to dry, somebody who is in limbo, somebody who has no status, can be a prisoner, can be a victim. It's very uncomfortable energy, never mind all the other things that the Neptune energy can indicate. So I think we have got some problems showing up in this reading, some quite serious problems in this reading. Is there a panic going on behind the scenes at the root of this reading? What's going on behind the scenes? I have got the Knight of Swords in reverse. It's called the Game Master. It's a strategic card. It's someone who's very intelligent, very shrewd, very capable, very insightful, lives on their wits, and a fast thinker, a fast actor. It's in reverse. This tells me that he's anxious about not being able to keep up intellectually, mentally with what everyone else is talking about. There were photos of him at this thing, the WHO event about violence towards children, and he really looked like he was struggling to follow what the speech was about. He signed some memorandum or some declaration or something or other, but I really don't know if he has much grasp of what's going on. That's my personal opinion. Or he is worried that he might not be able to follow what's going on, keep up to speed. If there's a quick fire sort of Q&A at some stage, he'll flounder. They're great exponents of word salad, and I think he's caught some of the word salad from her, but he mangles it when he's on his own, like he talked about genetic pain, and everyone had a good laugh at his expense. So not the smartest, and aware of it with that Knight of Swords in reverse. So what's his mind on? What's he trying to hold himself together? How's that going to go? And I have the I have to look here, the Five of Cups, and it's in reverse. I've got two cards of tremendous disappointment. Is quite a weak word for the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is woe and lamentation, really. That's what the Five of Cups is about. He doesn't, but it's an interesting keyword, because I think he doesn't want to be a disappointment, and that is why the card is in reverse. He does not want to fail. If he is a disappointment, it's really going to knock Brand Sussex for a 6, because Meghan's already out of the picture now. She's been exposed by the Hollywood Reporter. Harry's the only one left with any credentials of any sort, any earning power, any status, and he's managed to insinuate himself into these events in New York this week. They're fringe events. They're not main events, if that makes any sense. But if he messes up, then that's it for them. And he's very conscious of it, and he's very worried about messing up and disappointing, I would say, his new team that he's got around him, his new English PR team, which are mostly ex-royals who understand the way the royaling world works, unlike the Hollywood team that Meghan put together for them, and that really messed up big time. So Harry, there's a lot of pressure on him right now. How is he feeling going into these events? Was he excited? Was he nervous? What was going on? I've got the Four of Swords in reverse. It says truce. It comes after a heartache and betrayal. The Four of Swords comes after the Three of Swords. Truce, it's the card of healing when it's upright and disappearing, going away for some quiet time, for some rest and recovery. He really would benefit from some time away. You could even say time under care of experts, mental health experts. A lot of people are saying that, or speculating that he might need to be dried out, shall we say, if there's any hope for him of integrating himself back into royal circles or old friendship groups and things like that. That he possibly has got quite a serious problem. I'm seeing signs of it in this reading. That is, of course, my opinion. But going into this week, he was anxious. He didn't want to do it. He's worried about how he's going to come across. He really would like to be private, hidden away, be able to disappear for a good length of time with that Four of Swords, but he's not allowed to. He's got to put himself into these situations where he feels anxious and stressed and, again, out of his depth. So how's he going to handle this week? I'm not talking about, is he going to be popular, or is he going to take New York by storm, as some news articles are reminding us Princess Diana took New York by storm all those years ago. But I don't care about that right now. I'm looking at his own mental health and his own emotional well-being. How is he going to handle this week? Is it going to be all right? Is it not going to be all right? I've got the universe, and it's in reverse. That's the World card in traditional Rider-Waite, but they go extra here in this Urban Tarot. It's the World card, and it's in reverse. Again, I'm getting the sense that he really doesn't want to be in the public eye, because the World card for me in these royal readings is very much about all eyes on you. Meghan laps that energy up. She loves it. Harry doesn't really. I think he likes the pomp and the circumstance, the status, the uniforms, the medals, the people sort of tugging their forelocks at him when he walks past. But I don't think he likes the pressure that he's being put under. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but the cards are repeating this message over and over and over. And it's a card of failure. The universe, as it is in this deck, in reverse means that he doesn't accomplish his mission, that he feels like he's failed. Even if he doesn't on the surface fail, if he doesn't make a big idiot of himself, if he can deliver speeches quite well, if he's got a good speechwriter and he manages to get through it without sweating and doing weird things and, really looking like he's lost the plot. That's not what I'm talking about. He himself, it looks like, is going to feel that he has failed. Let's see. His view of himself, these tall cards don't really fit in here. So his view of himself, oh my, I've got the Tower in reverse. I was waiting for this card to show up in this reading. I could feel it. And the Tower is collapse energy. I felt it with the Seven of Wands. I nearly said it's the minor arcana version of the Tower when it's in reverse. We've got the major arcana Tower now. Mental collapse, because we're dealing with that, or fall down. He sees himself as really in big trouble, that it's very he's having to work very hard to fix the mess that he's got himself into. He knows that his whole world has collapsed or is on the brink of collapsing. It's also, just by the way, a divorce card. It's everything has come crashing down or is on the brink of coming crashing down, and he is doing his utmost to prevent it or to fix it, depending on which way you want to look at his life, whether you think the Tower has come crashing down or is about to come crashing down. Whatever the case, for Harry, it's a very serious card. It's a very difficult energy, this Tower, that he knows he's in terrible trouble, and it's all out to fix it if he can, or to avert it if it hasn't quite happened. It's so there could be worse disasters coming. As I say, there is divorce energy in here for me. So what pressure is he under, whether from people or from substances or anxiety or anything? I'm checking energy that I've already asked. I've got the Two of Swords. That's the pressure that he's under. This crossroads energy that the Two of Swords represents is showing up quite a lot in the readings at the moment. It's choose. You've got to choose. What are you? Are you a prince? Or are you a Hollywood? Or are you a celebrity? You can't be both. No half in, half out. He knows this. The pressure is on to perform and to show people that he is worthy of being a prince still. He still knows how to do it. Although he doesn't seem to know how to knot a tie at this point, and some people also say he doesn't know how to wear socks. I know he's adopted a certain dress code that is quite an American dress code. It just doesn't look good when you're a prince of the realm, in my opinion. His hopes and fears. Hopes and fears. We've got the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is worrying that people are going to reject him. It's not what this card depicts at all. It's a very off depiction of the Four of Cups for me as an energy reader, but there it is. It is the Four of Cups that's shown up. So Four of Cups for me is a rejection card. People are just indifferent, apathetic. He's getting news headlines at the moment, but he's getting all the wrong ones. About his anxiety, about his looking eager to please, about his looking as if he's struggling, he's cracking his knuckles, he's looking nervous, he's sweating, he's got the haunted face. That's not headlines that he wants. And it might just be that he doesn't get much in the way of headlines coverage in the coming days, or he looks like he looked in that photograph where he was walking, trailing behind Queen Matilda, and really he looked like a lost soul, a lost boy. So outcome for him, and I'm focused on his anxiety or his substance problems, if he has any, speculating, of course. What do we have? We've got the Four of Wands in reverse. Unhappy home. It can indicate a split. It's not a celebration. It is a card, the Four of Wands is all about celebration. So triumph to a certain extent, more well done, You can relax, you can enjoy yourself, you've done very well, but it's following the world or the universe in reverse. So we've already had a disaster, a massive disaster. He's going to see it as a disaster. And then job well done, the reverse of job well done, really, with the Four of Wands in the reverse. So we've got double energy of failure and failure. So I think he's going to go home with his tail between his legs. I think he's off to the UK afterwards. I don't know how he's going to weather this experience, the pressure of it, the performance anxiety, shall we call it, that he's under at the moment. So there it is. That's he looks like he's in trouble. And that's my personal opinion, of course. And thanks for watching. See you on the next one.